Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome to the video. Now, today's vehicle is easily one of the coolest vehicles on the road, and that is a Tesla Model 3. Now, with a build date of March 2020, this vehicle is just a little over a year old, but it actually hasn't been cleaned once yet, so let's have a closer look at it. Alright, well, starting with the exterior, and you can see there's a good layer of dirt on the paint that looks pretty stuck on. The wheels and tires are filthy and brown. And then there's some bug guts up on the front end that have clearly been there since last summer. But moving inside the Tesla now, and winter definitely wasn't kind to this vehicle as there was a ton of dirt tracked inside. So besides the filthy floor mats, the vegan leather seats definitely need some attention, and so does the trunk as it's full of debris. But just before we dive into getting every inch of this Tesla looking brand new again, take a second and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I post a new video like this each week, so if you've got the bell on, you won't ever miss out on one. Alright guys, well, I am super excited to get started on this Tesla today, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of my favorite details that I've done, and hopefully yours too, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the transformation. Alright, well, getting started on the pre-wash rinse, and like I just said, I'm really looking forward to working on this car today and getting to see the build quality of a Tesla for myself today. And with these being pretty rare vehicles around here, it's unlikely I'll see another one for quite some time. Moving to the back now, and to give you a little background on the vehicle, like I mentioned earlier, it's a 2020 Tesla Model 3 Standard Plus, which means it can go from 0 to 60 in about 5.3 seconds and has about 263 miles of range, and obviously has a ton of cool technology built in, some of which I'll show you a little later in the video. But with the price coming in a little over $50,000 Canadian for what would be considered the base model, it's not an overly cheap car. And you might also notice the owner has swapped out the rims on the car for aftermarket ones, and in my opinion, it was a great choice as they look really good on this car. Moving up to the front end where all the bug guts are, and since they're really stuck on, I'll basically just get as much of it removed with the pressure washer as I can, and then use some bug remover on it in a little bit. Now, just before I cover the car with foam, I'll get some bug remover sprayed on to help loosen up and dissolve those bug guts. And I also wanted to mention that if any of you are in the market for a foam cannon, I would highly recommend picking one up off Amazon, as they're only about $30 to $40, and they work just as well as the name brand expensive ones that can easily cost double that. The link to the one I use is in the description for you if you're interested. And with the car covered in foam now, I'll get to work agitating all the crevices with my Detail Geek boar's hair detail brush, including around the Tesla's exterior cameras and charge port, where I'll obviously be extra careful. Okay, with the car washed now, I can see quite a bit of iron contamination on this paint, which looks like tiny little orange rust spots. So I'll quickly get some iron remover sprayed on and let that sit for about 3 to 5 minutes so it can dissolve those iron particles, turning purple while it does. And taking a look around, you can see there was contamination on every panel of this car. Okay, well, moving to drying the car now, and while I normally don't mind Mike coming out to give me a hand, there was no way I was going to let him anywhere near this car today because he hasn't paid me back for the candy I bought him in that day in the life video over on the second channel. If you guys haven't watched that yet, you really should go check it out, but I did also want to let you know that my Ultra Plush drying towels are finally back in stock on my website at detailgeekautocare.com. So if you've been waiting to get your hands on the best drying towel out there, well, make sure you act fast because I'm expecting them to sell out pretty quick. Okay, well, after dumping most of the debris off these floor mats, I wanted to remind you guys about channel memberships. So if you love seeing sneak peeks of new videos, behind the scenes stuff, or just want to know what I'm up to between details, well, consider becoming a member of the channel, as if you do, you'll get exclusive access to the members only community tab where I post all of that stuff, but you could also get exclusive members only discount codes for merch and Detail Geek Auto Care, or even early access to new videos. So if that sounds intriguing to you and you want to support the channel, there should be a big join button right below this video you guys can check out. Okay, now since the owner of this car is a super cool guy, he actually gave me access to the car through the Tesla app during the detail, so I couldn't resist the opportunity to show you guys how the summon feature works. So basically all I'm doing here is using my phone to tell the car to drive forward, and the moment I take my finger off it, it stops. So that's just one small example of the incredibly cool technology in this car. working my way around with the vacuum, and I'm sure there's a few of you out there wondering about the quality of carpet in here. And unfortunately, while the rest of the vehicle is built pretty well, the carpet is definitely on the cheaper side of things, and I'd say is just above the Velcro-like stuff from the Kia Soul last week. Although honestly, that's really not surprising, as good quality carpet can be very hard to find in vehicles these days. Alright, so it's time now to answer this week's members question, which comes from Maddie, and it's: would you personally own a Tesla? Has your opinion changed on them before and after the detail? Now, I'd say I've always had a pretty high opinion of Tesla. There's no doubt they make great vehicles, although I do know they've had some quality control issues and their paint really isn't all that great. But after detailing this car today, I'd say my opinion of Tesla is probably higher now that I got to see the build quality up close and got to play around with the car a little bit. These are definitely the way of the future, and I would love to own one someday. Alright, well, since the rubber floor mats in here have done such a good job protecting the carpets, the driver's footwell was the only section that actually needed extracting, so there isn't too much for the Bissell to clean up today. And if any of you out there have ever thought that this looks like a ton of fun to use, well, you'd be right, and it's a unit I'd highly recommend for anyone who might want to tackle extracting their own vehicle. So for any of you who are interested, the link is down in the description for you. Here's the half a tank of dirty water pulled from the Tesla, and honestly, it's not that gross this week. Okay, well, putting the screen in screen clean mode so it will turn off so I can see all the fingerprints, I'll gently wipe it down with a damp microfiber towel and then dry it off using my waffle weave towel to leave it perfectly clean. And with that done, I'll get the frunk popped. Yeah, you heard me right, I said frunk, like front and trunk combined, and I was personally pretty surprised by how big this was. There's definitely lots of storage space in this Model 3, but anyways, with some APC diluted 10:1 sprayed on, I'll wipe it down with a slightly damp microfiber towel and then dry everything off with a clean one. Okay, turning to this vegan leather now, and for those of you wondering what the heck is vegan leather, well, it's basically a man-made leather made from plastics instead of animal hide, and because of that, using harsh cleaners isn't recommended, so I'm opting for just a damp microfiber towel to clean them today, and then we'll dry them off with a separate towel. Alright, now that we've got the interior finished, it's time to turn our attention to the paint and start the decontamination process. And for that, I'm using Pinnacle Ultra Poly Clay and a quick detailer acting as lubricant to ensure that all the surface bonded contaminants like tar, tree sap, or other road grime are removed from the paint. And once this is done, the paint will be perfectly clean and ready for a sealant. Starting on the massive amount of glass this car has now, and I'm happy to say that my new Detail Geek waffle weave glass towels are finally available on my website at detailgeekautocare.com. So if any of you out there struggle with cleaning glass, well, these towels are the secret to streak-free glass, so be sure to check them out. Alright guys, well 8 hours later and the Tesla is looking spectacular, and I gotta say I had way too much fun during this detail. It's probably a good thing I don't own a Tesla because I'd literally be sitting there doing that summon thing like all day long. Now if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, enjoy the guitar outro, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That is seriously way too much fun.